Hey friends, welcome back to the last episode of our spiritual practices video series. We are going to be talking about Sabbath today. So we've talked about prayer and we've talked about almsgiving. We've talked about fasting and scripture. And today we are going to talk about Sabbath. So I want us to go all the way back to Genesis. And when God created, right? God created in 7 days. On 6 days, and on the seventh day, God rested. So that is where Sabbath, the idea of Sabbath, comes from. So in the Jewish tradition, they would celebrate Sabbath on Saturday. And that is when they would observe their religious beliefs, right? So it commemorates the beginning of the new week, and it is how they observe their belief system. So when we think of Sabbath as Christians, we probably think of Sundays, right? Or you think of the 10 Commandments where it says to keep the Sabbath and keep it holy, or observe the Sabbath and keep it holy. So we think about Sundays. So what is your Sunday routine? You get up, eat breakfast, maybe you drink coffee or orange juice. You get dressed, you put on your best church clothes, and you come to church. And then what do you do after church? You go to lunch, and after you've gone to lunch, maybe you go home, and maybe you take a nap. You rest. Right, rest. So Sabbath means to rest. So when I think about resting, can you only ever rest on Sundays? No. We can rest any day of the week. So my first question is, do we have to observe Sabbath on Sundays? Only on Sundays? No. We can observe Sabbath. We can participate in Sabbath. We can rest anytime. So Sabbath can look like a lot of different things. It can look like a nap. It can look like dinner with your friends or your family. It can look like a slow morning with coffee and a book. Sabbath does not have to be just sleep. It is what we do that connects us with God. So like the Jewish tradition to connect and observe their faith traditions, we are doing the same thing. It is the way that we connect and observe our traditions, and it's what is life-giving to us. I often think about the word sabbatical and Sabbath, a long, extended time of rest. What do people on sabbatical do? They take care of themselves. So Sabbath is when we take care of ourselves and we nourish our relationship with God. So what are some ways that you can practice Sabbath is my next question. My next answer is, we don't have to observe Sabbath on just Sunday. So we can observe Sabbath in lots of different ways. So maybe we do it through prayer. Maybe we do it through scripture reading. Maybe we do it through a nap. Maybe we do it with a few hours with the kids out of the house doing whatever you want. Maybe watching a little reality TV. Sabbath is the way that it is life-giving and something that is life-giving for us. And so a way that we can connect to who we are and who God is. And so Sabbath is rest, but rest isn't always sleeping. So how do we practice Sabbath? Well, some ways that I practice Sabbath come from reading scripture. And I also love to read. I love to sit out early in the morning and with coffee and a book, and I like to watch the sunrise. I like to connect with God in nature. So Sabbath for me looks like rest outside, taking care of myself and connecting to the earth. That doesn't look the same for everybody. So Sabbath is a holy thing. We've talked about how it's a part of our Christian beliefs. It's a part of Jewish tradition. It comes all the way out of Genesis. But we also see Jesus practicing Sabbath in Scripture. Jesus was a Jewish man, so he knows that there is Sabbath on Saturday. And so he would go to the temple or the synagogue, and he would practice his Jewish tradition. Jesus also healed on the Sabbath day. So, and that made people uncomfortable. So that's to say Sabbath doesn't just have to happen on Sundays, right? Jesus healed on the Sabbath. We sometimes don't get to take Sabbath on the days we're used to. So if you're curious about reading more about where Jesus, his Sabbath and his story about Sabbath is, you can look it up in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. They all talk about differently about how Jesus participates in the Sabbath. I can't wait to hear all about how you guys engaged with these different spiritual practices, how you experimented with them, how you experienced them. And I hope that part of all of these practices can fit into maybe some of your new Sabbath practice. So maybe in the afternoon, you want to schedule Sabbath for an hour, and that looks like you taking some time to intentionally pray and read scripture. Sabbath can happen every day. And so I hope that you are taking time to care for yourselves and find some Sabbath to rest and to give to your soul, give to yourself, right? And connect with who God is for us. All right, friends, until next time, see ya.